Now, until recently, we had, as you know, there are 5 different types of marriage that you can have in Kenya. And before they were all put in one act in 2013, there were various acts. So you could get married under the African Christian Marriage and Divorce Act, which means you could go to church, but then you had to be only Africans. It did not apply. It was a colonial system of introducing Africans to church marriage. So if you were not African, you could not get married under that act. So you'd have to get married under the civil law, Civil Marriage Act, which was then when you go to the Attorney General's chambers and you're able to conduct a marriage under somebody who's been licensed by the Attorney General. There was the Hindu Marriage Act, which is the Hindus, and before, at the time of before independence, Hindu marriages were actually potentially polygamous, but they are now monogamous marriages. There was the Islamic marriage, which is again potentially polygamous, and then the African customary marriage, again potentially polygamous. We then introduced something which is known as Come We Stay, and that's something I'll be going into a little deeply, which is presumption of marriage. Now, because of all these different marriages and all these very complex issues we have around our marriage laws and family law in general, which we normally call personal law, it affects each one of us. And marriage law touches on what regulates marriage, what regulates divorce, adoption, custody of children, succession, inheritance. All these things are personal to us, and we have the most disputes arising under this branch of law. Most of these disputes don't actually reach the courts. When they do reach the courts, they reach the lower courts, and they'll only reach the Supreme Court if there is a matter of general public importance or there is a matter that touches on the interpretation of the Constitution. So the cases I'll be talking today will be the ones that have reached the Supreme Court based on the fact that they are seeking an interpretation of the Constitution or that they raised a matter of general public importance.